Alright, so we have we about hit the 10-hour mark on the break-in, and I have the top off just because I added an hour meter. I was using Google Maps to actually time the break-in period for some of it, not all of it, but I was keeping track of it. So yeah, it runs perfect. It's been idling like this. It's one pull to start. I have no complaints, really. I did just add an hour meter in there. You see right there. I can put a Amazon link. I got 4 for like $22, I think. So one for that one for that one, and then I gave one away at the marina at happy hour, and I'll keep the third for a motorcycle. But that's how it runs, all day, every day, perfect. You can still smell a little bit of the machine oil burning off every once in a while, but for the most part it's done. I'm going to change the oil, but not the impeller and the gear case oil yet. Let's see, let me flip this camera around. Yeah, so I'm not going to replace the gear oil or the impeller yet. I ordered a Tohatsu MFS6V OEM impeller, which is like 20 bucks. And I'm gonna put that one in instead. Just to see if there's a difference. I'm doubting there is, but just to see if there's a difference. But yeah, this is a Bris 9'8" inflatable floor. Dink I also bought off Amazon. Kind of when you're living on a boat, if they deliver, it's kind of your thing. If they don't, and there's no way around to get them, it's a bit difficult. But for the most part, most dinghies have been back ordered. I just got an email this morning that the high field I wanted to get is currently in stock. About a month and a half too late. And the Suzuki 6-horse in white, that was in stock, and then it was out of stock. So yeah, due to COVID, right? But yeah, here we are at about the 10-hour mark, and I would say it's broken in. The oil's a bit dark, but nothing crazy. Nothing I would, write home about. But overall, it's a good engine. It's not bad. Definitely 900 bucks, for 10 hours. It seems to be doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Now, long term, that's a different story, but I don't see anything falling apart. Oh, one important thing. I'm in salt water, not a puddle pirate here. We are in the ocean. Salt water. Florida, salt water. When I get back up the bay, salt water. When I get down to the Keys, got salt water too. Bahamas, most likely salt water. So we'll see what corrosion does. But that's going to be like a year or two out to see what happens with that. Alright, that's it for now. This is part 2, or the wrap-up part 2. Sorry, there's not a whole lot. Who wants to watch somebody ride a dinghy for 10 hours? Right? Alright, my official verdict is, yeah, it's not bad. Hey! You gotta keep your feet up. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Come on, man! That little Suzuki move. Ah, pull it ahead. This is because I have full fuel, right? No, 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 no! Dude, this sucks. I am. I'm full throttle. Are you? I'm selling this boat. This sucks. Oh, I'm moving. I'm getting there. Oh, you're up on plane. How the fuck did you plane? Man, come on!
I feel like you're clapping right now.
This engine sucks. I need a Suzuki 6. Alright. Maybe it's because I'm dirty. The bottom's dirty.
I think it's probably because you have 80 pounds of water in whatever.
Yeah, there's probably that too. Alright, get to the boat. You don't have a light on you.
Yes, it's illegal out here. That was like
6 knots or less.
it's not.
So yeah, 2 people, it does not plane. That's a lot of ventilation. You're on full throttle?
Yeah.
Okay. Pulled that, and I'm just running it to get all the fuel out before I pull it for service. And we are, I'm about 16 hours in, not 10, so I'm doing this a little late. Sorry for the noise. She's not exactly quiet. Well, at least nowhere near as quiet as that. The idle was turned down, so now it idles around 950, 980. Before it was around 12 or 1300. It was really high, but it's quieter this way. And a problem I had, see this, there's typically a needle in there. Something happened, that needle failed, and it starved the outboard for fuel, so I just, process of elimination, kept pulling the fuel line off, you know, pop the cap. Pulled that off, no fuel. Pulled there off, no fuel. Pulled there off, no fuel. Pulled the line off, you know, right there. I had fuel, so my blockage was in here. And it was the metal pin. So if you have one, you know what that pin looks like. I don't know what it does, but the engine actually got faster, which is weird. But now I'm hitting about 10.5 knots in this Bris 9-foot 8-inch boat, inflatable floor. So it is what it is. This thing sips fuel. It's insane how little fuel it uses. And yeah, 9. So, in about 15 hours. I put that on a little late, because it didn't show up at the same time. Alright, this will be the part of part 2. Part 3 will take a lot longer, because that's going to be a long-term thing, but yeah, so far, it starts in the first pool. Just, oh, I added, took a little paint pen and added some white paint, so I could see that easier. There's a low idle. Oh, yeah, I also adjusted the idle air screw right there. That was adjusted out, and then the idle was adjusted here on this screw. Yeah, I just wanted it to be quieter at idle, that's all. It pops at idle at this speed, but it's fine. I'll tell you what, I've got Dynamat back at my house in Pennsylvania. I think I might put some strips of Dynamat on the inside of this. That does a really good job of canceling noise, and I've noticed the Tohatsu one of this similar make, this is a lot thicker, and it's got a baffle, a plastic baffle inside, so I'm going to do the Dynamat, but not now. It won't be part of these video series because I don't plan on going back to Pennsylvania until June. So, it is what it is. But yeah, Dynamat I think would make a massive increase in the sound quietness. Alright, so here we are. The engine's up, and it's not really hooked very well on that. I'll have to fix that. You know what? Let's do this. There we go. That's a bit better. I might have to actually put it back the other way, but the oil drain is here. And I'm just doing an overview of the amount of corrosion, because keep in mind, I am in salt water, as you can see, all the salt. The zinc looks pretty good still. It's right there. It's not bad. If you use this in fresh water, take this off, it's zinc, and you need aluminum. If you just take that into your West Marine and get an aluminum one, you'll be better off. Although I am noticing a load of corrosion right here. I wonder if it's the same over there. No, it's not. So I might pick at that with a screwdriver and see how bad it is. Plate's still good. Nothing else seems awful. If you ever do replace this piece with a replacement OEM unit, it's the Mercury Tohatsu unit. Undo this bolt here, it's 10 millimeter. That's captive, it stays until the bolt's out. Remove the fuel line, and then this just slides right out. So, I already replaced the spark plug, so that's going to stay. I'm going to shorten this wire up. I just kind of left it long. See what I wanted to do with it. The metal, this is metal, not plastic. And there's really no decent way. On the Suzuki, I was able to run it down and out through a small hole, and then attached it to the arm right there. But with this one, I'm not really seeing any. Oh, no, that doesn't. That's a hole to nowhere. Well, there's a few places. But, alright, so I'm going to do the service. Change that tilt angle. That's the trim angle my boat requires. Third one. Factory's in the second one. So I'm actually going to take the trim bolt out. So to do that, put it in forward, which releases the lever there. There's some corrosion on those levers too. Weld areas. Must have used 309. See that? So, alright, let's do the maintenance and then I'll be back. The glorified oil change shot. Doesn't take much. It's only 450 milliliters of oil. So I'm able to get a Gatorade bottle kind of jammed up in there if I took the screw out like that. And this is hard to do one-handed, so I'm gonna go. But that's how I did it. Yep, gave that a bit of a scratch. Focus there, damn it. Paint peels right off, so yeah, definitely some corrosion on the paint there around this area. So the Suzuki is 6 years old, shows zero corrosion, has over 200 hours on it. All salt water. I don't do fresh water. Yeah. So their paint work needs work. Aside from that, the engine seems to be okay. I mean, if you bought one of those Hawk 250 or any generator, pretty much any generator off Amazon, I've actually got the new Gen Max 3200 coming in. It's pretty much the typical same cheap Chinese build quality kind of stuff. Nothing to knock it. Their assembly needs work, but their casting's getting a lot better. So once their assembly and their paint's up to par, the Japanese can then worry. But until then, if you want a good outboard, buy a Yamaha, Suzuki, either one of those two, and yeah, dead quiet, dead reliable. Alright, I'm going to continue on with the maintenance. Oil's drained now. All I gotta do is fill 450 milliliters and then do the leg. And I'm not going to show that. Everybody knows how to do that crap. Yeah, here. No, I'm going to. I wasn't going to show this, but I ran the engine. I did not run the prop, so the oil's taking quite its time to get out. But it is dribbling down the leg, so it's easy to catch this way. If you see the nick there in the paint, that's actually because my son ran this thing aground. We have these mangrove islands here in Vero, and told him to go further out, and I thought we were further out, we weren't. We hit, so we nicked some paint on the prop. No big deal. But yeah, probably would have been best to run the outboard prop gear engaged for a minute or two to warm up the oil. So this is going to take forever. But using a clear melatonin bottle, along with a clear Gatorade bottle for the oil, so I can check for any shaving. So far, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary, nothing crazy, nothing that would have me worry. In fact, a lot less shavings than I saw in the one generator I got from Harbor Freight like years back. So far so good. They're getting better. So I'll end up cleaning this up and putting another layer of spray wax on it to protect it, because the spray wax seems to help. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Oh no, I had it set. Alright, let me fix that. Alright, so we're still draining away, but I wanted to bring this up. This is the replacement impeller they give you, and yeah, see my index finger right there? You'll see some extra flashing from the rubber molding process. The rubber feels pretty good. It's very pliable. Nothing wrong with it. But I just bought the OEM replacement units, and you can go ahead and pause the video if you need to grab the part numbers there. And these I got off Defender. They call it a Nissan water pump, but clearly it's Tohatsu. It's the exact same unit, but the final machining process of the rubber molding, there's no flashing on this one. There's a little bit. Yeah, actually I just found some. It's on the edge of my fingertip. There's a little bit of flashing, but nothing crazy like oh, there it is. Now you can really see it. Yeah, you see how much extra that is? So I'm not gonna throw this out. I'll go ahead and clean it up. Yeah, you can see it right there. Look at that big, looks like a fingernail hanging off there. Yeah, right there. So, and there's the OEM zinc. That's zinc. If you're in freshwater, you want aluminum. And that's where it goes. That's the zinc. So if you're on these in freshwater, zinc is useless in freshwater. But this whole drive leg's aluminum. This is great for your corrosion. So your zinc will look good, but the rest of your outboard is gonna basically deteriorate in freshwater. Now it's zinc for saltwater, aluminum, and I think magnesium they use for freshwater. I don't know. I don't run in freshwater, and I've got the plug off because when you go to do the water pump impeller, you got to undo that 10mm bolt to get the drive leg off. So it's that one, and then that one, and then the one under here. And then the drive leg drops, but in order to do that, I've got to wait for this to finish draining. It's probably going to be another 7 hours. And then layer this way, and then I'll pull the drive leg out that way and replace the water pump. Yeah, so if you want those part numbers again, there they are. Pause the video here. Alright, so I got them. They're off and they're side by side. The Tohatsu OEM's on the top. And you can see the veins. They're actually thinner. Let me offset them like that. So yeah. The little vanes are thinner than the Hangkai or OEM ones. They're thicker. Resistance-wise, I'm no judge, but the Hangkai definitely feels like it's got a little bit more resistance to it. But it's easily discernible which one's which. And yeah, if you line them up and look down the barrel, they're identical. There you go. The difference between OEM Tohatsu and OEM Hangkai. Hangkai Tohatsu. Alright, so I've decided I'm just going to keep the hour meter on the inside rather than running it to the outside. These are epoxy filled. You can see them. So they're waterproof. What you do is you run the wire around the spark plug. 6 or 7 loops, and then you bring it back and zip tie it. So it looks like that. And that, every time this thing fires, from the CDI ignition, it sends a current down to the plug, and this notices it and it starts counting time from when it notices that. So it's just hours. I'll put a link down in the description in this video. It says there's a tack. There's no tack. It's hours. I bought a 4-pack because I had a motorcycle, a generator, 2 outboards. So I bought a 4-pack. I actually just gave one to friends on SV Always Home. It's got a brand new Suzuki 6. It's a good way to keep track of the maintenance. So what you do is, once you're done and you've got it where you want, putting it on the arm here would be really nice. I wouldn't screw into that. I'd just zip tie it or some double stick tape, you know, some good stuff, 3M, VHB or something, and put it where you want, and then put the cable tucked into that little notch right there, and then the extra here you just cut it. So we switch hands and I'll cut it like that. That's it. All it does is a sensing cable. Once it senses an electromagnetic interference, it starts counting. And the battery in that's supposed to be good for like 10-15 years, I think. I don't know, they were on when I got them. That's it. I'll leave a link in the description. It's an Amazon Associates link, so I don't beg for money. My videos are funded by me. But if you guys buy that on an Amazon Associates link, I think I make like 8 cents or 18 cents. I don't know. But they're only like 15 bucks free ship. For 4 of them, it's a pretty good deal. I wouldn't buy the 2-pack because it's like $3 less. Just buy an extra 2. You can always give them away or trade them. You know, everybody needs an hour meter on their outboard. All right, so there's your drive leg. There's your pickup tube. It goes in here. Water and pump impellers in here. So undo these 4 10mm bolts and lift up. What I thought was a 10 under this, the back side, is actually a 13, I believe. Yeah, it's a 13mm. There's your drive leg. Loosen that 10. That 10's still sitting there. So when you put it back together, as you can see, this tube here, which is in good shape, corrosion. Oh, I like they got the grid there holding it. So this is for the drive. That is the water pickup, and that is your shifter. That's going to be the pain in the ass, because that's, look, that's pretty loose. So kind of, yeah, there's a little indentation on the right there, keeps it from sliding down, but there's a washer there too. As you can see, that's going to be a pain in the ass. And that's where this is your shift fork. You do have to put it in reverse. Makes it easier to get to it. So note that it is in reverse, which is what, down? Yeah, it's down. And you can see the carbon soot, which I'll clean that up because the exhaust runs through that leg and actually comes out right here. I know some people have actually, yeah, as I was saying, some people have actually capped that to make it quieter, and it really does make it quieter, but the exhaust gets pushed down there and then out, or it comes out here. So, yeah, everything looks good. This appears to be some sort of copper. So that's in good shape. That's in good shape. The rubber's nice and pliable. That's in good shape. The bolts. This one kind of had a scratchy feel to it. So I don't. Got some anti-seize I can put on there. It's good to put on. Doesn't look like factory did anything. And the other one shows no anti-seize as well. If you don't have anti-seize, Vaseline works too. Just protect the two dissimilar metals, because that's actually what causes the corrosion. And now that I've got it up, you can see rust starting here, here, definitely here. So they probably use some 309L to weld that. It's easy to weld 309. That's an aluminum bar. Here, there's corrosion forming. So yeah, anywhere there's dissimilar metals, it's the trim adjuster. It needs cleaned up. So I'll probably just douse the thing with some WD-40. If I had power film, I'd use that too. But power film's also good on seals. So I'll put a little Vaseline on that. Actually, if you have any KY jelly, that's what's recommended for the water pump and the rubber seals. So go figure. Adult lube. Alright, hit the water pump off and replace it. Okay, so here we are, just pulled it off. The gasket's still in good shape, so I'm not too worried about that. Anybody wants to get a closer look at that, there you go. Everything looks good. There's a little bit of shaft corrosion on it, but you know, I am in Florida waters and there's a lot of high salinity here. There's a bit of gunk. It could use a little barnacle buster run sometime soon. So here it is. You slide it right off, and then I'm going to turn it upside down so you can see the direction of the vanes. So you can see when I turn it upside down, this rotates in a low pressure format counterclockwise. So that's how I've got to put it in, and the pin is right there. Now what I noticed was there's no pin slot. The keyway slot is a flat notch. You see that? It's a flat notch, not a. So the pin goes in there somehow. It's still in reverse, so I can't. That's on my movement, and it's dry. The engine's on the wrong side. It's lying on its wrong side, but it's okay because it's dry. So gasket's in good shape. The drive plate's in good shape. I'm not seeing any scoring. Nope. The wear plate, I think, is what they call it. It's in good shape. The seal for the pickup tube is in good shape. All four bolts are in great shape. No worries here. So I'm gonna go get some WD-40, lube that up, take that out, and I think what I got to do is put that down and then put the pin up in at the very bottom. It's interesting. I'll show you how that's supposed to go. There's your pin. Don't lose that. And that goes in there. So it won't go up and down, and it shouldn't shift out. So, interesting. Not quite how the Suzuki's do and the Yamahas do it, but this is a Tohatsu knockoff, so again, I probably wouldn't spend the money on a Tohatsu if I can buy this for half the price. Even with the corrosion issues, I can put paint on it. I can sand and I can paint. All right, let me get this finished up. All right, so this is the old one, and I don't see any reason why this needed to be replaced at 10 hours. This looks absolutely fine. There's no wear, there's no tear. It didn't spin, so it's still bonded to the center. It looks in really good shape. Still very, very pliable. The OEM Tohatsu went right in. That's how it goes. Yep. So bolts were good shape. They're all the same. They fell out, so they're all the same length. I'm not too worried. So now the tricky part is to get this in. Like, bring it down like that. Oops, sorry, I should have filmed that properly, huh? More interested in the quality of the work than the quality of the film. Bring that down and then get that pin in there. So I may take this out and lay it flat so I can see up in there. Alright, can't do that while filming, so goodbye. Alright, so I'm going to tell you how I did this. I actually just managed to balance the pin on the flat part of that shaft, knowing where I had to put the notch straight up to 12 o'clock position, and I just kind of wiggled it till it came down in there, and there it is. So now I just gotta pull it back and line everything up and then put it all together. But that's it. Yeah, just laid it in there, it stayed, and then yep. So good luck with that otherwise. So this is the stuff I use in the boat all the time. It's a multi-purpose synthetic grease, but I just noticed, because it's heavy duty, it's dielectric, and apparently it's food grade. Oh, it's also clean. It meets USDA guidelines. I guess this so you can use it on household, so you can use it on your blender, I guess. I don't know, don't want to see food grade on my grease, but yeah, it's got PTFE, which is Teflon. So that's what I use. I gotta grease up the splines here. Cleaned up the shaft, looks nice and pretty. I'll clean up this shaft, and then I'll put a little grease here, a little grease here, and we're good to go. Alright, it's back together. Alignment took a little harder than I thought, mostly because it's kind of on an angle and I'm on a boat that's moving, and you can actually see down in there, got the light on, the pickup tube is in. You see the little bit of copper colored into a black seal. So you can see to get the pickup tube in. The drive's up. Because she's locked in reverse when you remove it, you can move the prop like that. Oh, look at that nick. Hit the ground. You can move the prop a little bit to rotate the shaft to line it up the splines, and that gets you in. Once you get these bolts done up, getting the shifter in actually was a pain in the ass, but you want the shift lock bolt to be against those right there, that knurled piece to that. Make sure that's tight, because if it's not, you're not going to be able to shift. Alright, you may end up getting stuck and forward. So make sure that's tight. And that's it. Time to fill the whole thing back up with oil and we're done. Alright, that's it for pretty much part 2. Maintenance is done. Did the, well, actually I did 15 hours of, let me turn the camera on. Alright, yeah, so I did about 15 hours of runtime on it. You saw 9 on the hour meter. I calculated 6 manually running back and forth, and then I did some running around. Went to a few bars, visited a few places, that kind of stuff. Did some exploring in the back islands. See the one behind me. So yeah, nothing's wrong with it. Starts on the first pull. It's actually a decent motor. I said it was the MFS6B. That's what everything I've been able to find. So there's a copy of it. The only thing that's not an exact copy is the fuel pump. It's not a 6B fuel pump. The ones from a few years ago, they used that fuel pump, but they must have updated it, because this fuel pump comes in and comes out at an angle, not a 90 degree. So I don't carry an extra fuel pump for the outboard, but once I figure out which one it is, I'll let it know in part 3. Part 3, there will be a part 3, won't be seen for many months. because part 3 is going to be like a long-term wrap-up. But that's it for part 2. I will get it on the dink here shortly, and I don't expect any problems. If I do, I'll add it, but we can call this done. All right, thanks for watching.